Saturday night at Qualcomm Stadium, the Aztecs are getting ready to battle the number 23 Air Force Falcons at the Q. Should be a nice crowd on hand to welcome home the 3-2 Aztecs. Now joining us is the offensive coordinator for those Aztecs, Al Borges. Coach, it's great to have you on the show. How you feeling today?
I feel fantastic, and it's great to be on the show.
We appreciate it. Now, I'm just a fan, so I blame refs when I see that type of mess. But in Provo, as a coach, in all your years, do you ever blame refs for losses?
No. All that gives the players an excuse to fail now. That's a bad idea. Now, I feel like we are. I mean, believe it or not, I've made a couple bad calls in my life, So you got to kind of give them the benefit of the doubt from that perspective. But, and it's unfortunate and it's aggravating. I'm the first one to tell you. But by the same token, we got to play. We can't worry about that stuff.
Coach, I found it funny that a spokesperson for the Mountain West Conference said he was unsure of the ruling as far as having employees of the school working in the video booth. Let me just ask you, do you know if we, San Diego State, have any employees working in the video booth?
No clue. Couldn't tell you. I have no idea. No, I really don't. I don't think we do, but I don't really know that.
Right. Does it sound unethical?
I'm not going to even address that. I don't know.
I got you.
Guys, I'm trying to look past this and get to the next one. And I'm the first one to tell you. I mean, it aggravated me. But we got to play tomorrow, and that was 4 days ago, and I'm just trying to get to the next deal.
Coach, I know you. I'm sorry. I know you take it week to week, but I just feel that it's odd that you have two games that were just basically ripped right from under you from bad calls or missed calls.
Yeah, but you know what? If we beat Air Force, how good we'll feel about it? We'll probably never forget it, but at least we'll feel so much better about it. So, there's a point you just got to forget about it and move on. And as hard as that is to do, sometimes you just got to do it, or it'll drive you crazy now. I mean, it drive you crazy, but now it's time to play the next game. And if you win the game, you don't even talk about that anymore.
Absolutely. Aztecs offensive coordinator Al Borges is our guest. So let us focus on these Falcons. As you get ready for Air Force, how strong is that defense?
Oh, they're pretty good, and they give you a lot of stuff. They're some smart kids, and they're not afraid to use some different schemes that present some headaches, So we got to be on our game, and we got to start better. When we start good, we usually play pretty good. Starting is not the answer; it's just one answer, But you can't go out there and piddle around and then punt a few times and wait to get your stride. And by that time, they'll have the ball for an hour and a half, and you'll never see it again. So we got to come out. We got to come out of the gates and play, And I think if we do that, because we're capable, we got a good football team. We just got to. Sometimes we just don't show it like we could show it. But this team has showed a lot of promise, and I think if we can put our game together, run the football, play pitch and catch, block their blitzes, I think we'll be all right.
Coach, we're going to be in the midst of San Diego's Fleet Week, which is a huge military deal. You have Air Force coming in. So the military pageantry I was reading about is going to be huge pregame and halftime. Does that add to either the pressure or the excitement for the players?
Oh, I don't know. You'd probably have to ask them, and I think all that stuff's so cool. I really do. But we're out to beat the military this week, okay? So as much as it's neat and all that, our mentality is whoever it is in front of us, whether it's Air Force Academy or whoever, we're out to beat them, and that's how we're thinking right now.
Coach, how respectable is the Mountain West Conference on a national level? You've been around the country, but do you feel that this conference gets enough respect on a national level?
I don't know that it does, and I'm going to tell you why. A couple years ago in 2008, I was out of football. And I did some television work in Atlanta, and it was a great experience. I know I got a little better idea on what you guys deal with, And I was responsible for the national football scene, in terms of knowing all the conferences and who was doing what. So I got no dog in the hunt. I had no idea I was going to end up at San Diego State. But a statement that I made on one of the programs was that I felt that the Mountain West was as good, if not better, than the Big East. And top to bottom, if you just looked at the matchups and the games and who beat who, that bared itself out. And it's ironic that I would end up in this conference, but I have tremendous respect for this conference before I ever came to it, because I think it's complete. I think they got good offensive teams. I think they got good defensive teams. I think they got good special teams, and I think the coaching is outstanding. And if you look at the head-to-head matchups in all the conferences, as well as they fared over the last few years, I think you can make an argument for this being as good as most of the BCS conferences.
It's funny, we had Coach Long on maybe about a month ago and asked him the same thing, and he said better than the Big East and the ACC. I happen to agree with both.
Yeah, at least comparable. I'm gonna, and I don't want to disrespect those conferences. They have some good teams in those conferences, and we played them when I was at Auburn. So I'm not doing. I'm just saying and the year I was out of football and coming from the SEC and having a chance to look at them all, and be rational and look at the numbers. Don't just pull it out of your, whatever. You just have some empirical data, and it bared itself out. This conference is for real.
Coach, you get a lot of credit for helping Cade McNown become a top-notch quarterback in college, going into a first-round pick. Jason Campbell as well out of Auburn. But talk about the comparison of Ryan Lindley to those guys.
Well, Ryan is still learning the position, but has come a long way. He transitioned from a spread offense to a pro style, and that's a lot bigger change than people realize. So he's come around. He's done, particularly in the last couple games. Ryan has done a nice job, particularly with his footwork. He understands our offense better, but he's still, I won't say he's embryonic in his process. He's beyond that, but he is still not, and he'll be the first one to tell you, still not arrived yet. But I think as he plays more, as he experiences, all the scenarios that go with attacking defenses and all that stuff, he'll become a better and better player because he's certainly a talent.
Absolutely. We're talking to Al Borges, and I love the fact that you say it's a professional-style offense. That's what you run, a pro offense. How nice is it? What kind of luxury is it to have two wide receivers who look like pros? I mean, visibly, when you look at DeMarco Sampson, when you look at Vincent Brown, they look like professionals.
Yeah, and both of them could be next-level players.
Yeah.
They really could. Having, over the years I've coached, I've had kids play at that next level that weren't as good as DeMarco or Vincent, So having them, I wish we had them a few more years, but they're certainly talented. It's our job now. We got to get them the ball and get them an opportunity to do what they do the best. And when we do that, we're good. We are a good football team, coupled with when we can run it well. I mean, we can really be a nasty bunch when we do those things.
Without a doubt, 3-2. You guys have looked fantastic, beating up on Utah State. Now you're coming home for homecoming against Air Force. Coach Borges, we do appreciate the time. We'll talk to you soon.
Thanks, Josh and Sherrod. That was wonderful.
Thanks, Coach. You're wonderful. Good job.
Absolutely.